Congratulations on being one of our trailblazers, and thank you for accepting the award from Korean American Story.
It's an honor to be presented with the award. Thank you very much. I was pretty rambunctious and really active. In fact, my parents often tell a story of how their best friends would be hesitant to spend time with them because they were worried that I was going to be too active for their kids. I actually bit a few of them, not because I was, not because we were fighting, but for some reason it was a way I showed affection. And I don't know what that says about me. You often hear stories about actors who were painfully shy as they were growing up, and acting was a way of expressing themselves. But that was never me. I was always outgoing, even as a teenager. Now, whether I was at ease with myself, I can pretty certainly say I wasn't at all times. It was tricky for me in junior high school and high school because of my race and growing up in a steel town in Pennsylvania. And I think that had a lot to do with my choice to become an actor because I found a need for expression. It never changed my nature in that I'm still outgoing, I'm still talkative, I'm still really inquisitive, and I guess that's me. It wasn't until junior year of college that I decided I wanted to go into acting. I wasn't very good. I mean, that's a very important thing to point out. I still might not be very good, but I certainly was less good then than I am now. Once I started catching the bug, my plans changed. I'd entered college as someone who wanted to be a lawyer, and I left as someone who wanted to be an actor. My dad was a doctor, and so he wanted me to follow in his footsteps, if not as a doctor, then as another professional. And being an actor really didn't even compute in their worldview, because at the time, only people who couldn't get into college became actors. Yeah, so it was difficult, but now, they're thankfully proud of what I'm doing, and my dad even likes to give me career advice once in a while. I've gotten some opportunities, where I kind of tell my parents, what the offer is and what the character is and what the show is, and it's sometimes funny because my dad will chime in. The first thing he'll ask is, well, what's the money? He'll then ask follow-ups like, well, what's this director done? So I just get a kick out of it every time because for a guy who never, understood a world where his son could be an actor to coming to a point where he's asking detailed questions about my job prospects, I think we've both come a long way. The kind of guiding principle for the production company is like high school, because I think Hollywood is a lot like high school. We always see the popular kids in the middle of the room, dancing, drinking, dictating the atmosphere. But I want to hear the stories about the people who are on the fringes of the party that we don't get to hear from. Or I want to get to hear the stories of the people who were not invited to that party, because their stories to me are equally as valid and yet never get told. Asian Americans are very often on the fringes of those parties and are often not invited. And so it's obviously very personal to me to tell the stories of our culture and our experiences, both in front of and behind the scenes. These things are close to my heart. And I think, just on a basic level, you should tell the stories of the things you know. And I happen to know a little bit about being Asian American. I would have to say instant jjajangmyeon. The birth of my children. I mean, that without question. Gosh, why can't I think of this? Like, one of my most embarrassing moments is when I took out my mom and dad's car before I had a driver's license and got into a car accident while I was in my pajamas and having to call my dad to tell him what happened. That was pretty embarrassing. I like gochujang. I don't know if you guys like that, but it's freshly made kimchi. I have really fond memories of my mom in our kitchen, on the kitchen floor, like mixing kimchi, and I used to sit down next to her and literally pick out the kimchi as she was making it. And that flavor of fresh kimchi, and my mom used to put like 새우 or shrimp in it because we're from Busan, and sometimes oysters. And so like there was this amazing seafood mixed into the kimchi, and I would just sit there at night talking with my mom, chomping on this fresh made kimchi. Oh, I don't like tripe. So sometimes when there's like tripe in 곰탕, I don't eat it. It grossed me out as a kid and I never could get over it.